You are seeing this right before a massive change hits. You could be doing a lot of purging. So you can see I'm looking a little rough. I've been doing a lot of crying to the point that I'm like really dehydrated. So that could resonate with you. You feel like you're doing a lot of clearing work. You are making space for something really significant to land in. I'm hearing quantum leap, so that could be very significant for some of you. But let's get into this. Ooh, I have two fire signs out here, the Wanderer and the Mystic. This is telling me that you are transforming. This is the next step up from the Shapeshifter. So this is saying that you have been getting a lot of divine inspiration. You may not have known what to do with it. You've just been getting it. You're like, this is saying that you are now taking action on whatever it is that you are receiving, and that you are turning your wisdom into something that you can work with. This is, the Mystic here is someone who is a bit off on their pedestal. They've had a lot of life experiences that they don't necessarily know how to translate to others. They feel a bit set apart because they have lived through so much. They have lived through things that people can't necessarily understand. So it can be hard for them to relate to others, even though they're not necessarily trying to put themselves up on a pedestal. It's that people will more set them apart simply because they can't. It's hard for them to be in that space, in that energy, especially where I've got this peacock here. This is the Empress. So this is saying that you are learning how to sit on your throne, even if it means that you are set apart, even if it means that you are different. You are getting more comfortable with the things that make you polarizing. Oh, and this is clearing out a huge cycle for you with this Life on Earth card. This is the World. This is the end of the Fool's Journey. So there is some kind of like big adventure, big goal that you set out to achieve that involved you unearthing a lot of this stuff, especially when I've got this Four of Embers. This is the 1111 card, so this is like a big wish fulfillment where I got like that quantum leap energy. This also has to do with like home and foundations and celebrations. So you are going to be celebrating something. You could be having some kind of like adjustment in your home life, which is great to see. This has been like a really significant test. This is something that you may feel like almost broke you, but instead of breaking you, like you broke through this energy. You have been intuitively guided this entire time. Even if you may not have fully like seen the path ahead of you, you were always like, the inside always took you where you needed to go. Yeah, especially again with this Mystic still at the back of my deck, is that you have a lot of wisdom that you have been relying on. It's just been where, again, this card is a bit set apart, is it has been your challenge to sort of step into that and own that. You could have people pleasing wounds or that sort of thing. There's like a lot of hate that people pleasers get, I mean, obviously, but it is a trauma response. And I don't mean obviously in a bad way. It's just that they can like, it's its own form of like destructive tendencies without them realizing that it's destructive. But it is a trauma response, which is why it's so difficult to break, and it feels so life-threatening too, because it is a survival tactic. So let me get a closing message for you. So this is a good sign that you are closing out something. 333 on my timer, so that could be a sign for some of you. Yeah, you've been going through a very significant rebirth, and that this has been I'm hearing like worth your life. Yeah, this has been a level of mastery that you have had to achieve. It has forced you into alignment. This is one of those things, it's like nothing was going to move until you aligned, where I have this 10 of Trees reversed. It is a marrying of spirit and ego. So there is this like delicate balance. So if one thing wasn't aligned, nothing was going to work. And you may have been dancing along this path of like being in alignment one day and then like slipping out of it and like really working hard. This is like you finding this sweet spot that is you. You may resonate with like all or nothing kind of energy. Again, that could be like a bit of a trauma response or like learned behavior, and you are leaving this behind. However, this isn't one of those things, because I'm getting this energy of integration with this Four of Birds at the back of my deck. It's not that you are leaving it behind as in you are getting rid of it. It's that you are learning how to take your strengths and your weaknesses and use them together. This marrying of like spirit and ego, that instead of running from your shadow or like trying to shame it away, like you can't you really can't gain anything stable through shame. It can get you some results, but the results won't last. This is one of those things where you are getting lasting results because instead of fighting what is your true nature, you could be getting very honest about just who you are, like your strengths and your weaknesses, and being really unflinching about that. And instead of like shaming yourself for your weaknesses, you are learning how to use them and how to alchemize them. If you need any help with that, book a one-on-one with me. I am creating a guide for how to like work with your negative emotions, which I think is it is like the groundwork for like very high level stuff. And I don't mean the high level in the sense of like gatekeepy, that sort of thing. I just mean that high level as in it comes with a lot of responsibility, like anything in the spiritual realm. This is like the other half to like the love and light stuff, is that I consider like love and light like a bit of a gateway drug. Is like you discover it, you learn about like manifestation, the positive thinking and that sort of thing. But your brain, it responds and adapts to like new experiences. So once that's sort of mastered, people tend to hit like a plateau, and you can see like sometimes they get a little fanatical about like, I need to be like high vibe all the time, and like you don't. And this is how you work with like all aspects of you, like the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if that resonates with you, if you feel like you've like hit that plateau and you're like, I feel like there's more to this, I feel like there's a missing piece, this is the missing piece. I always say, like, while that is one side of the equation, right, the love and light stuff doesn't go away, being able to work with the other side of the spectrum is crucial. Like, you're not supposed to like numb it away or run away from it, like the whole like what you resist persists, that sort of thing. It's, you can hold space for it and you can work with it, and that's how you sort of access like that higher vibe stuff, through seeing the gifts. I always say your negative emotions hold your greatest gifts, through seeing the gifts within your negative emotions. Obviously, if you followed me for any amount of time, you know that the darkness is what I came from and what I've worked with, so I know this kind of stuff really intimately. So if you want to work with me one-on-one with that, go ahead and book with me. I do, I call it timeline construction. It's the email coaching. So that is one of those, like, I've manifested everything through things that they would say like aren't high vibe. Is that like I've done it depressed, I've done it hopeless, like I've done it with everything that you would look at and be like, oh, she's not going to go anywhere. So I've done the impossible in my life through this, and this is something that, this was my gift to me right through life, is that I was given a lot of like really dark stuff to handle, because this was like my little corner of, this is my little speck of dust in the universe. So that's where I like to specialize. Again, if you know me like that, you know I'm not big on strictly love and light stuff. I believe in integrating both, and then once you use that, it's like, where I said it's higher level stuff is because it's a new level of responsibility. Is that once you know how to manifest on that level, then it's just like a new level of responsibility. It's like being responsible for something all the time. Like, you have to be very aware, because you start manifesting like everything. So if you don't have like, it's just a new level of responsibility of like training your mind and being on that level. But if you feel like you've hit that plateau where I said like your brain seeks out new experiences, that's what like keeps, I always find like youthfulness is like goes hand in hand with like novelty. So like your brain stays young by doing like new things and challenging things. This is like a new challenge for your brain. And you know, like spirituality is like that anyways. Like, it's Pandora's box. Once you open it, it's like you're on the path, and you take it as far as you want to take it. It's just a path back to yourself at the end of the day. So this is more of it's just a deeper understanding of yourself, and it's just something that people typically run from. But if you want to learn how to do that, book with me.